Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Archer of Truth. I want to welcome y'all to React with Arrow. We're doing a reaction to IGN's Why Batman Arkham Shadows is set between Origins and Asylum. Let's get it.
This fall, we're finally getting a brand new Batman Arkham game with Batman Arkham Shadow, the brand new VR game coming to MetaQuest 3. Here to break it down for us is Ryan Payton, Camouflage Studio Head and Game Director. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Very exciting new Batman game, VR game. It's set between Arkham Origins and Asylum.
That's correct, yes.
How did you land in this time period?
Well, start off, we're just huge fans of the Batman Arkham franchise. It's been many years since we've got a new game in the Arkham franchise. So when we got the phone call from Meta, they said, hey, you just came off of Iron Man VR.
I don't know. I can't get into VR, but I kind of would play it. But I'm not a VR type person. Bro, just imagine the other DC characters they made VR of. They made VR for other DC characters. Like, imagine them doing a VR for Green Lantern. Bro, the constructs and all that. Oh my god. Or having like playing as a Superman game VR. Flying around, because they already did Iron Man VR. So having a Superman. Ooh, so I want to know in this Batman Arkham Shadows, could you fly in the Batman? Oh my god, the Batmobile or the Batwing, flying in it, like you can legit be in a cockpit and all that. Green Arrow is another one. It's so many options they could do.
We really love that game. What do you think about jumping into the world of Batman?
I'm probably most likely gonna watch somebody play this.
You know, we were really intimidated. Well, I can tell you a little bit more about the backstory of how we signed the game. But at that time, we looked at the timeline and we thought, you know what? There's a lot that happens to Batman between Arkham Asylum, City, and Night. And then we thought, hey, after Origins, which is a great game and I think an underappreciated game, there's a lot of interesting areas from a story perspective where Batman's still relatively young in his career. He's kind of been punching his way through his problems, and that seems like a pretty good setup for a story where we wanted to kind of put Batman through the ringer a little bit.
Interesting. That's why we think the Rat King has sort of been introduced as a villain here. But what's the sort of the premise of the story that we're going to experience here?
Sure, yeah. So Batman's coming off the experience that took place in Arkham Origins, and like I said, he has a little more passion than he has compassion, and so he's entering into a world of Gotham City that is being hit by all these riots that's being taken place by these a new enemy type called the Rats, and they're like these devout followers of our new villain in Batman Arkham Shadow called the Rat King. And with Batman and Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent looking at Gotham City on fire, 4th of July, riots taking place, people following this new cult leader called the Rat King, that's the big setup for the game. And then we see how Batman's going to face this new challenge.
And then in terms of gameplay, our fans of the Arkham series are going to find everything that they love, from the combat and traversal and gadgets and detective mode, just in VR, first person?
Well, I mean, that was, I think, the real challenge early on when we got the phone call, which was, at first I thought, I don't think it's possible to translate the Arkham combat, that classic, amazing combat that's influenced so many other games in the industry since Arkham Asylum. I don't think it's possible to translate that properly into VR. And so I went over to the design pit. I said, hey, I just got a phone call whether or not we want to do Batman Arkham. And one of our design directors, Ryan Darcy, said, like, what's the problem? Of course we can do that. You see what we just pulled off with Iron Man VR? And I said, well, Ryan Darcy, what are you going to do in VR? You're going to use the left stick, walk up against an enemy, and start just punching at him? Like, that's not going to feel like Arkham. He's like, Ryan, Batman doesn't walk across the room, he punches across the room. And that's how you initiate the combat in the game. And you lunge across the room, and then you've got your combat widgets, you're fighting guys, then you have to do your counters just like the other Arkham games where you're kind of doing that spinning plate gameplay. It's that dance you're doing with multiple enemy types. You throw in the Batarang, the smoke bombs, the different like gel launcher, and we've been able to translate that classic Arkham combat directly into VR. And once we did that through a prototype, showed it to Warner Brothers and DC, they were sold, and the rest is history.
So how much control do you have over Batman's, movement, or is everything, as you say, being directed by like who you're punching towards?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best example I can give in terms of how the game flows is the other Arkham titles.
Okay.
You do have the same degree of freedom in terms of who you want to engage with. As you start initiating a combo with one of those guys, and yes, we give you different command prompts, but you can interrupt those at any time. Add a gadget in there, you'll get interrupted. So you do a counter, and then you start engaging with another enemy, and it's that whole kind of, again, spinning plate gameplay that adds a lot of variety in terms of like how players want to approach things, and then you get more Wayne Tech bonuses based on how much variety you add into the combat. And as long as you do it within the rhythm, you increase your special combo meter, and then you can unleash some special combo moves onto your enemies, just like the other Arkham games.
Are players going to get a workout playing this game?
They're definitely going to get a workout. This has been a really thrilling experience for us to be here at Gamescom, having people play the game for the first time, and a really intimidating experience for a game developer. We've been working on the game for almost 4 years, and how are they going to respond? And so far,
4 years.
The response has been absolutely fantastic for our behind the closed doors sessions. But one of the jokes that's been going around is that, Ryan, you got to start handing out more T-shirts after the game.
Sweaty and
you do get pretty into it, and it's not a coincidence because games like Beat Saber and Super Hot VR were actually big core inspirations for us as well in terms of the rhythm of the game, the time dilation you're doing. So it can be a workout, but you can actually play the game seated as well for people that prefer that, or if that's the way that they need to play the game.
And overall, how open or linear is the game?
Yeah, when we pitched the game out of the gate, we said, look, this is our first foray into the Arkham franchise. We're not like Rocksteady, where it took them a while to get to Arkham Knight, that big open world extravaganza, an incredible game. So we said, hey, look, for our first attempt at Arkham, we want to look at Arkham Asylum. We're actually almost exactly at the 15th anniversary of Arkham Asylum. It came out in August 2009, by the way. And we absolutely adore that game. It's one of the most perfectly paced video games, in my opinion. Great 12-hour campaign. That's what we're trying to get close to that with our game. And we have a similar type of structure. More of a Metroidvania type of structure where you've got a big open courtyard, different dungeons you can go and explore. You go get a gadget, kind of Zelda inspired. You get that new gadget, a gel launcher or the bat claw, and then you can use that to go to another dungeon to go unlock different puzzles or more collectibles. So very inspired by the structure and the flow and the campaign of Arkham Asylum.
You're saying all the right things. Get me very excited to play Batman Arkham Shadow. Thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, and the response from the IGN community for our 3 trailers so far has been overwhelming. So that tells us there's a lot of big Arkham fans out there, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you guys absolutely love this game.
Sounds great. Batman Arkham Shadow is available for MetaQuest 3 this October. We've got lots more Gamescom coverage right here on IGN, so don't go anywhere.
Next month. All right, y'all. Let me know if y'all played MetaQuest. What games did y'all play on the MetaQuest? Because I'm thinking about getting a MetaQuest. Because, like, the Batman game is probably one of them that I want to play. And then there's Indiana Jones that's coming out. That's going to be in first person. And I'm not a first person. Only time I'll go first person and play a first person game is, like, a game that I really want to play, like a DC game, or like Indiana Jones, and that's probably it. Or a vampire game. But any other game, I won't go. Let me know in the comments below. If y'all got a MetaQuest, what games have y'all played on the MetaQuest? And let me know in the comments, is the MetaQuest good? Is it good? Should I invest in one? Or is it not worth the time? Let me know in the comments. And while y'all down there, make sure y'all get your arrow. Shoot at the like button. Shoot at the subscribe button. It's been your boy, the Archer of Truth. I want to thank y'all for coming by while React with Arrow. It's been your host, Red Arrow. And I'll see you. I bid you a good day, my Arrowettes. Become a member of the Arrowettes. Take care.
Make sure y'all get y'all arrow. Pull that boy. Shoot it right at the like button, subscribe button, and become a member of the Arrowettes.